Hello, dear Earth friends. This is Shayla speaking again, and today I'm here to tell you about how to sense real flow. Where is the real flow of guidance? Where is the flow of your life guiding you into the best or most resonating pathway or close enough that resonates with your purpose or your goal why you are incarnated? Because many people are not sure, they are always either following the flow of excitement or flow of sensing, flow that feels good, for example, and so on. And there are sometimes, it's very natural to have challenges in your life. So sometimes following the real flow doesn't always feel like a high vibration as well, like something that should be happening to you. So I want to discuss with you the way how you can relate and really go forward on your life path, and talk about also certain traps that you can find yourself in when you are not following it, why, and how it can be sometimes misunderstood for following the flow. It's important to tap into your inner being when you are following the flow, and not just that, your higher self as well, and that is basically your inner being. Sometimes when people are talking about higher self, like you are perceiving it something that is outside of yourself, something bigger. That's why rephrasing it to inner being is more useful. Really try to feel your soul, your inner being, your inner guidance inside, connecting with yourself. And that is first important part of following the flow. So it's important to tap into the certain areas of your body and sensing the truth there. What is sometimes not flow or following the flow is when people are chasing, for example, good feeling. Usually, for example, following the excitement or highest excitement can be misunderstood for following just, let's say, dopamine hits, like highest possible joy in a way. But you need to be very honest with where you are. That's why you need to tap first into your inner self, inner being, and sense, like, are you already healed? What can you do, to feel a little bit more of yourself? Are there things that you do that are not in alignment with your purest essence? So when you are not fully healed, or where you are not where you want to be, those are signs that you may have certain programs within yourself, certain conditioning that may sometimes act as guiding you into, like, your highest excitement, but it's actually guiding you away from your best possible path that you can follow. And of course, it's not always following the best path that would feel best or would be the most efficient to get to your goal. There's also maybe ego that if you would try to follow that, because the universe doesn't really work like that. So following the flow is, or how it would function, how it would actually develop when you are following the flow, is, as I said, first tapping into yourself and following, like, yes, how I feel, for example, right now, like in this moment, what are my really those, let's say, goals and desires that I want to manifest, my soul desires, where I want to be. And it's like when you are tapping in the now, you are sensing yourself with all of your energy, grounding yourself in the now. and then grounding yourself in the future that you would like to be in, sensing how it would feel as well. And then the difference in between the vibrations is going to be guiding you there by sensing inside. And of course, always it's about getting out of a certain conditioning and certain molds that other people wanted you to be in. Society, not just family, but overall society, like what is usually normal to do. And they just wanted to put you into the box, very limited box. So it's about sensing where you are still in your cage, basically, and what you need to let go of to fly freely, and then you would sense in the moment as well, like, and also every moment can be different. One day you feel like, okay, right now I'm guided to do this. Another day it can change, because when you follow the flow correctly, when you are acting to the best of your ability of what you are guided to do, of course, as I said, it's not always certain idea of perfect doesn't exist, but just acting on it, being willing to act on challenges as well. And then also sensing when you are maybe trying to do something that is not working out as well, because many people are also like very rigid in certain manifestation technique or doing certain shadow work, and it's not leading them anywhere. So sometimes when you are also noticing that something is not working out right now, maybe in the past something that you did, a spiritual practice or something that it worked, but also sensing the flow is sensing that right now it's not working. There is maybe something else missing in the recipe, that you need to overcome something or figure out something. So letting go of the certain techniques as well, or tools, is important as well. And that's when you again are tapping into yourself, and usually that sense comes from the third chakra. Third chakra is the one that is guiding you with that feeling of what is resonating and what is not. And then you have to stop doing something, stop being too rigid on, or too strong-minded about certain things. And when you recognize it's not working and relaxing, although it's great to even act on it even when it's not working, because more kind of like a pressure you put into wanting to resolve some issue that you have, you are creating this huge momentum of energy as well, although the tool is not working. But when you finally relax, universe will guide you in a truest way how you can manage certain, let's say, blockage. If we talk about blockage or trauma, certain part of your trauma, it can actually give you and guide you then some random way, like thoughts coming up or synchronicity, and showing you something that you need. And also the thing is as well, like many people, as I said, when they are following like this like a flow of excitement, usually means as well that they are just following, as I said, like a flow of dopamine, or feeling good all the time, or as much as they can. They are avoiding diving deeper into themselves and doing harder work. So when I'm talking about following the flow, it's really you surrendering and letting yourself to be guided through the flow of your life by your inner being or higher self, and also universe, working with the universe through surrender. And of course, it's not as well not being active at all. As I said, like you sense you act on something. Maybe it will not work out in a certain way, but when you are just willing and doing something for the goal, and your idea first is not correct, next day or in a few days or weeks it will be clarified much more if you are as well willing to go into hard or difficult challenges, and also when you are able to surrender when you really should surrender. So when you combine these two, the surrender will then bring really the flow, and actually when you surrender you would be able to release the old patterns, old timelines, old lingering timelines of the past that is keeping you in a certain vibration. It always depends on what exactly you're doing or dealing with, what is, as I said, your goal or purpose, something that you are passionate about. And also following the flow is not, of course, always or not at all about overachieving. Some days you feel that you need more silence, more integration. When you worked, let's say, hard for a couple of days on something and you released and you found out, or maybe even not released, and or whatever you needed to do you feel was not successful, and you need to surrender again. You need to give yourself that pause of like letting universe work for you. Like this is your intention through action, and then letting universe to integrate or bring you whatever you needed to actually get further. So the sign of progressing is that every day you, or not every day, let's say not every day, because again it can give you a sign that you have to have some progress every day or visible progress. But it's it's let's say on like weekly, bi-weekly, or so on, monthly, cycles. You can sense that you have resolved something that you felt was not working out for you in the previous month. You have changed something in your mindset, you discovered something, maybe even like through 1 month, like one thing that you were able to start doing in a different way. And all these like small changes, like when you do it and you really feel that you are also literally changing inside, and faster also you are changing, you may sometimes feel even more uncomfortable. And it's also the difference between like following or trying to get yourself experience only the joy or dopamine hits in a way, to be high, to be ADHD in a way, kind of like in that, like chasing the good feelings. So the difference is that when you are really unlocking, let's say, even new timelines, you may feel uncomfortable even what you are right now, what you are becoming, not understanding it. Although it feels like, yes, this is actually what I wanted, but you may not feel that comfortable as well, and being even scared. Like good sign that you are very much opening to new timelines is that even you are getting a little bit scared, you have the pulse to even go into your previous habits, and that is a sign that you are now progressing. And when that happens as well, you can always make steps back. You are always, it's never about like going only forward. You even going a few steps back is even important for you to realize how much you are not resonating with what was in the past. But the important is to do more steps further and less back, so you are always getting somewhere further. You're still progressing further. And important part of sensing the real flow is being honest also with your feelings, not avoiding them. And even when you are, for example, even depressed or whatever else, again, not fighting with the depression, but again, like going inside, talking to yourself, or even your spirit guides. You know, when you tap into your inner being and like start thinking about like maybe even when you don't know why you are, for example, feeling bad in a certain way, just stepping into yourself and just start speaking like what is the problem, and inviting your guides or universe to listen in. It will guide you through unraveling and opening up more of those feelings, so you can just process them more and more. And so sometimes it's just even speaking it out loud to the universe and like letting it to see you, because you are seeing yourself that way, you know, as well. And so it's important to see yourself if you really want to resolve something. And that is that part of honesty, not feeling like you have to follow certain, you know, grandiose spiritual, you know, like a roles, so that would make you kind of like, yeah, follow that, yeah, you have to be in high vibe spiritually in a specific way, because that flow or that direction is completely false as well. There are many spiritual beliefs or programmings that are guiding people into false spiritual egos, and those are usually as well those who are just keeping you away from your inner being and tapping in really into yourself and becoming your own self. And you just put on, you know, certain levels again that are shielding you, just going deeper into yourself and really owning yourself, finding your core as well. And I understand it's difficult when you have a traumatic life throughout your childhood, even adulthood. Many lessons that you have received, you have experienced that can be, you know, again, like when you are tapping into your inner being, it should bring up some ideas of, okay, like when you really tap into it and go into those moments in the past, like how it program you, like, okay, program me, for example, in a way that I feel I need to put myself into certain boxes, or, you know, certain roles appear a certain way so people accept me, or they don't feel me or think that I'm threatening, yeah, feel about me as a threat to them in whatever ways, you know, even in subtle ways. And of course, then, you know, you can be guided into like a deeper analysis of even people around you, and finding yourself, you know, going back to actually who you are, and where those lies of other people were, you know, presenting as truths, but when you really see what are their lies, how they're lying to themselves, everyone who caused you certain traumas, then antidote for that is to actually find out opposite of what they were trying to tell you was a truth about, a real truth about yourself, that you are worthy, that you are actually loved. And universe will always 100% support you, even with shedding a lot of those layers, that skin, you know, like a snake skin, or like when whatever, like a insect or whatever, they are giving away their shells when they're growing, you know. So those previous shells will be too small for you, and they're already too small for you. That's why when you will start realizing who you are, your awareness of yourself will grow, and then those shells, outside shells, will be too painful to be in, you know. Once you really see, when you grow out of them, then you really see how much it was painful even before, but it was sometimes too comfortable for you. So sometimes it's also very important to even reject comfort, you know, certain comfort that is keeping you inside of those programmed shells that you put yourself into. It's not other people putting you in them, but you harden your surface when you are dealing with something that you don't understand, you know. So following the right flow is all about, sensing where is your true self and where are false narratives. And those false narratives are also inside of you, not just of other people, but your own false narratives. Yeah. You need to sense them, like that is a flow, or following the right flow, sensing what is really false and what is true. And truth will always guide you into more expansion, not staying in a rigidity of your life. So I will leave this topic in this level, and I hope it helped you, to guide you into a little bit more of your inner understandings. It triggered some of your inner issues that you may have been struggling to find out what you needed to deal with, how you were not following the flow in the right way. Of course, there are many different ways how people can trick themselves, and it's up to you to really discover it and play detective work around those areas of your life. So I wish you all the strength to dive deeper into the truths and uncover lies that you are keeping yourself away from yourself. So good luck with all of that, and the best flow of the universe and support to you all.